no escape, no more choices. When the largest dam in the region suddenly collapsed, everything descended into chaos and floodwaters. Over 680,000 Chinese citizens were forced to abandon everything, their homes, their belongings, and even their loved ones, in a desperate race to escape one of the most devastating disasters in recent years. Within just a few hours, what were once peaceful towns and cities were completely submerged under a raging, unstoppable flood. The scenes from the disaster zone shocked the world. Videos spreading across social media captured apocalyptic images, cars drifting like toys, buildings collapsing into muddy waters, people huddled on rooftops waving cloths for help in hopelessness. No one could have imagined such horror would strike in a country known for its modern infrastructure and massive civil engineering capabilities. It all began with relentless rains that lasted for weeks. Water levels in reservoirs rose far beyond red alert thresholds. Initially, officials tried to reassure the public, claiming the dam and flood control systems were stable. But reality proved otherwise. The first cracks appeared, and everything unraveled too quickly. The dam's massive structure gave way, releasing millions of cubic meters of water into the downstream areas, unleashing a catastrophic torrent that no one could contain. No warning could be fast enough. No barriers strong enough. In the blink of an eye, entire villages were swept away. Fields, factories, and roads were destroyed in seconds. People fled in panic, carrying children and the elderly, wading through waist-deep water to reach higher ground. Many were separated from their families. Some reported missing, and countless were swallowed by the flood in the darkness of the night. The death toll and damage continue to rise by the hour. More than 680,000 people have been urgently evacuated. Thousands of homes have been destroyed, and hundreds remain unaccounted for. Power grids were knocked out, and communications in the worst hit zones were completely severed. Isolated communities had no electricity, no clean water, no food, and no way to call for help. Heartbreaking stories are emerging from the wreckage. A young mother sobbed uncontrollably, unable to hold onto her child when the flood surged too fast. An elderly man collapsed during evacuation, exhausted from hours of walking through mud and water. Entire families were lost, swept away in their sleep, never to be seen again. While rescue teams worked day and night, hope is running thin. Helicopters and rescue boats were deployed in full force, but the number of people needing help was overwhelming. Many areas remained completely cut off. The floodwaters are receding slowly, while the risk of landslides and outbreaks of disease continues to rise. Beyond the physical damage, this disaster has also sparked widespread public anger. How could such a massive dam collapse without warning? A bigger question looms. Who is responsible for this catastrophe? Experts and independent analysts had long warned that even China's mega dams carried immense risks, especially under extreme weather fueled by climate change. But rather than addressing those warnings, many authorities reportedly ignored or downplayed both signs, prioritizing image over safety. This isn't just a natural disaster, it's a wake-up call. What's happening in China is a brutal reminder to the world. When humans place too much faith in concrete and steel, thinking we can conquer nature without respecting its power, the consequences can be catastrophic. As climate change drives more extreme weather, the systems we rely on may not be enough. And unless we shift our mindset, more dams, not just in China, could face the same fate. Now, thousands are living in temporary shelters, struggling to survive. Disease is spreading, mental and emotional trauma runs deep. The future is uncertain. No one knows when, or if, life will return to normal. Children can't go to school. Families wonder whether another wave of rain will bring even more destruction. Meanwhile, the world watches China with a mix of empathy and concern. Because today it's China, tomorrow, it could be any country. The safety of dams, emergency response plans, infrastructure resilience. Are they truly enough to protect us in a time when nature is increasingly unpredictable? This disaster will go down in history as a painful scar. But if it only leaves behind tears and no action, it will all be in vain. Hundreds of thousands have lost everything. They deserve to be heard. They deserve better protection, not only now but in the future. We will continue following this story and bringing you the latest updates. If you believe this message needs to be heard, share this video, not to spread fear, but to raise awareness, not to blame, but to reflect, and not to mourn quietly, but to act boldly.